Atom Project Take 2. I apologize again for mucking up the first go at this. I am perfectly willing to blame the eternity of isolation here for that. So what I'm hoping is the description here will be more than complete enough to actually give you a foothold that you can get it done with. So for the Atom project, what you are going to do is recreate the included PDF here that I am pointing to that you will see here shortly. Recreate the included PDF in HTML and CSS. So in the same vein as we would have done during WEB101, you are going to be submitting separate HTML and CSS files, as well as either the downloaded images that you are using, or if you are using, one of the services we talked about, Pixneo, Pixlr, so on and so forth. You can clearly use the web links to those, but let me give you the following caution, is if you use Pixneo, those links are only good for 7 days now. You may have noticed that in the product for LinkedIn Learning that the images for Pixneo there were no longer usable. That's because Pixneo changed its rules. That's the problem with using a URL for your images or using a URL for other resources in your HTML deployments, is sometimes those change, and beyond your control, those links are broken. I do not have a preference for you either way here, but I would suggest that in the interest of caution, I would go simply download the images, include them in a folder, and be absolutely certain that I can see your project the way that you wanted it. As was the case previously with things like the midterm or any of the other projects that you put together, please understand that I am good with a wide range of completion options here. So the design is largely up to you. So if you cannot locate the salmon color on there, make it another color. Clearly, the images you are not going to be able to locate. Find other images. The blueberries theme doesn't, may damn well not apply to everybody because you don't remember that example, or potentially you weren't there for that example. Get something else. Whatever you would like to do here is fine. What we are looking for are things of the following: classes and IDs that you are going to use to manage the content to make it look similar to what you see here, in the same way that potentially you would have done with your midterm if you can locate it. I have included, if you look down below the description here, I have included a previous project using the blueberries theme that you can use as not a template necessarily, but as a reminder for how to get things done. You will notice that they are in the included file. You'll notice that we are leaning on classes rather than classes and IDs. You will notice that there is no inclusion of mobile or tablet media queries. That is perfectly acceptable here. You do not need to worry about that. You are simply recreating essentially a desktop version here with this project, all in Atom. So remember, you can choose any images, fonts, colors that you would like. The border around the banner image, you do not have to recreate that. Just any border will do. You can reuse your previous project. So if you are able to locate your WEB101 work, you can build off of what you see there. Again, the theme is up to you. If you are curious, you'll notice that all of the images there are inside of circles, right? So you've got your square with a circle as the image or as the numbering inside. I have left a link here for you on how to get that done. It is dead simple. Radius. It's border 50%, and that creates that nice circle for you. It's really, it couldn't be easier, and it feels like one of those things like, oh, that's really neat. So we'll take a look at the document next, but do remember that if there's any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and let's get it done. So here we're looking at our document, and remember, you're not recreating everything exactly. The big picture items, or the big ticket items here that we're looking for are this here. The Blueberry register at the very top should be a class. You can divide this area here into two classes, one justified right, one justified left, another class center, this one center. Remember, you can build inside of a container class 1, 2, 3, 4 additional container classes, and it will work. The horizontal rows here, just remember horizontal rows, and you can manage the color and the width of those with CSS. Here, remember that you do not have to do this, slight feathering here on the border. Really, you could choose just a solid border if you would like, or a drop shadow border if you remember how to go do that. That's one of the benefits of keeping your old pieces of work, is you can really quickly go back through them and find it. Everything you see here can be redone in lorem ipsum. You can copy the text, the ipsum text out of here, or you can go back to ipsum.com or something like that and get those. With these, I did mention that in the description I've left you a link for how to do a circle for a class or an image that would apply here, 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 here. And again, the theme or the colors and all of this is up to you. I won't necessarily look, do we have the horizontal rows here, which again are really just horizontal rows. Remember to always use, because this is something that some of you potentially will have struggled with up to the very end in Web 101. And here is a reminder, don't just dump container classes in here and rely on fractions or rely on float to make this happen. Remember to put them inside of an unseen container class so that you can better maintain their heights and widths and things of that nature. Also remember that I have included a themed piece of work here for you to follow. It has, names and things like that maybe you won't be able to use, but again, it has things like how do I float, how do I create container classes, things of that nature that you'll be able to use that hopefully will refresh your memory on how to be able to do this. Do reach out with questions if you have them, because it's better to get those addressed sooner rather than later. And good luck, everybody.